Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. Everybody is looking for the next big shift in global trade. And today we're about to reveal a game changer that could reshape the balance of power in Asia. The captain of the Dragon's Fortune, a massive oil tanker, stood on the bridge, peering out at a sea jammed with colossal ships. The horizon was crowded, a floating city of steel and commerce stretching as far as the eye could see, each vessel carrying its own precious cargo and story. To his left, a container vessel stacked high with goods from Europe. To his right, a carrier filled with liquefied natural gas. Every ship here represented a vital link in the global supply chain, their journeys synchronized in a delicate, maritime ballet. All were inching forward, entering the Malacca Strait, one of the world's busiest and most vital shipping lanes. This narrow corridor is the beating heart of international trade, where east meets west, and fortunes are made or lost. The channel is narrow, the waters shallow, and the threat of piracy never fully disappears. Navigating these waters demands constant vigilance, as even a minor mishap can have global repercussions. This slow, careful journey is routine for thousands of ships carrying the lifeblood of the global economy. Every day, they move billions of dollars worth of goods, fuel, and resources, connecting continents and sustaining modern life. The phone in your pocket, the gasoline in your car, the clothes you wear, chances are, they pass through this strait. The Malacca Strait is the invisible thread that ties together the world's markets and daily conveniences. The Dragon's Fortune is on a critical mission, millions of barrels of crude oil from the Middle East, bound for China. Its cargo is more than just oil, it's the energy that powers cities, industries, and the ambitions of a nation. For China and the world, these tankers are essential, keeping lights on and factories running. Without them, economies would grind to a halt, and daily life would be transformed overnight. The captain checks his charts. Delays here cost money, but a serious disruption could cost the world billions. Every decision on the bridge is weighed carefully, knowing the stakes are high and the margin for error is slim. Over 80% of China's imported oil travels through this narrow passage, a vulnerability known as the Malacca Dilemma. This single choke point is both a lifeline and a potential Achilles heel for the world's second-largest economy. In a crisis, a rival power could squeeze this choke point, starving China of energy. The specter of blockade or conflict haunts every strategic calculation, making the strait a flashpoint in global geopolitics. As the Dragon's Fortune clears the strait and enters the South China Sea, the crew breathes easier. The open waters ahead promise safety, but the memory of the narrow passage lingers in every sailor's mind. But in Beijing, the anxiety never fades. Leaders and planners remain on edge, knowing that their nation's prosperity depends on a fragile maritime artery. China's leaders have searched for years for a way to bypass this critical choke point. They've explored pipelines, railways, and new alliances, all in pursuit of greater security and independence. Now on the coast of Cambodia, they believe they've found a key piece of the solution. A new gateway is taking shape, promising to reshape the region's trade routes and strategic balance. A new port is rising, one that could change the strategic map of Southeast Asia forever. Its cranes and docks are symbols of ambition, and its success could alter the course of history. The stakes are enormous: economic security, national survival, and the balance of power in Asia. Every investment, every ship, every decision is part of a high-stakes game with global consequences. The journey of a single ship is just the beginning of a much larger story. Each voyage is a thread in the vast tapestry of global trade, weaving together nations, economies, and destinies. The world is watching as China moves to secure its future. Every development is scrutinized, every move analyzed, as the balance of power shifts on the high seas, and the next chapter is unfolding on Cambodia's shores. The world waits to see how this new port will shape the future of trade, security, and the fate of nations. The Strait of Malacca is a narrow, 580-mile stretch of water that has shaped the course of global trade for centuries. It separates the Malay Peninsula from the vast island of Sumatra, forming a natural gateway between two continents. At its narrowest point, near the bustling city-state of Singapore, the strait is just 1.7 miles wide, making it a true global shipping superhighway where massive vessels pass in close quarters. The Strait of Malacca is the shortest and most vital sea route between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, linking Europe, the Middle East, and Africa to the booming economies of East Asia. Nearly 100,000 vessels navigate these waters every year, carrying about a quarter of all global seaborne trade, a staggering volume that keeps the world's economy moving. Trillions of dollars in goods, from crude oil and natural gas to electronics and consumer products, flow through this vital artery every year. If the strait were ever blocked, even temporarily, the global economy would suffer a heart attack, with supply chains grinding to a halt and prices soaring worldwide. The strait's immense importance makes it a constant hotspot for geopolitical tension, piracy, and security concerns. For centuries, great powers have vied for control of these strategic waters, shaping the history and politics of the region. Today, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore work together to manage security and keep the strait open and safe for navigation. But the regular presence of the U.S. Navy underscores just how globally significant this waterway remains. Accidents, natural disasters, or deliberate attacks could close the strait, sending shockwaves through global supply chains and causing chaos in international markets. For China, which relies on this route for the majority of its energy imports and exports, the risks are nothing short of existential. No nation is more concerned about the security and stability of the Malacca Strait than China, making it a focal point of its foreign policy and strategic planning. For China, the Malacca Strait is an Achilles heel. Most of China's imported oil from the Middle East and Africa must pass through this single choke point. Chinese strategists call this the Malacca Dilemma, a fear that, in crisis, a rival like the US could blockade the strait and cut off China's energy lifeline. The US Navy dominates these waters and in any conflict could interdict shipping bound for China. Even outside of war, accidents or piracy could disrupt China's trade. This vulnerability gives other nations leverage over Beijing. China's leaders are determined to overcome this strategic weakness. Finding alternative routes is now a top national security priority. Overland pipelines and canals have been considered, but the most tangible move is happening in Cambodia. China is investing in a port that could help neutralize the Malacca Dilemma. China's answer isn't to simply replace the Malacca Strait but to create a web of alternatives, a vast network of ports, roads, and railways stretching across Southeast Asia. This ambitious vision is reshaping the region's infrastructure and trade routes, offering new possibilities for commerce and connectivity. At the heart of this strategy is Cambodia, a close Chinese ally whose geographic position makes it a key player in China's regional ambitions. The centerpiece of this plan is a state-of-the-art, deep-water port on Cambodia's coast, built with significant Chinese investment and technical expertise. Here, oil and goods can be shipped directly to Cambodia, then transported overland through a growing network of roads and railways in Cambodia and Laos, ultimately reaching southern China, bypassing the vulnerable Malacca Strait entirely. For Cambodia, this means new infrastructure, thousands of jobs, and a boost to the local economy. For China, it means greater influence, security, and a reliable alternative trade route. While this overland route can't yet match the massive volume of the sea lane, it offers a vital lifeline in times of crisis or conflict, ensuring China's access to crucial resources. The Cambodian port is more than just a commercial project, it's a strategic asset, carefully positioned to serve both economic and security interests. It gives China new flexibility and security in a region long dominated by other powers, allowing it to project influence and protect its interests more effectively. The stakes are high, and the world is watching closely as this new chapter in regional geopolitics unfolds. This is China's boldest move yet to break free from its geographic constraints, signaling a new era of competition and cooperation in Asia. The heart of China's Cambodian strategy is the Ream Naval Base. Once a modest outpost, it's now being transformed with Chinese funding. New piers, deepened channels, and support facilities are rising fast. Officially, Cambodia says it's for its own navy, but the scale suggests otherwise. Reports indicate China will have exclusive access to part of the base, its first naval outpost in the Indo-Pacific. This gives China a logistical hub for its navy, extending its reach in the region. The base also serves as the gateway for the overland bypass road into China. Its dual-use nature, commercial and military, makes it a linchpin of China's strategy. Ream is the physical manifestation of China's plan to break free from maritime constraints. It's a game-changer for Southeast Asia's balance of power. The Ream Naval Base is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a vast network of roads, railways and ports across Asia, Africa, and Europe. The BRI's belt is overland corridors, the road is a chain of seaports, including Cambodia's. Critics say the BRI is about more than trade. It's a tool for China to expand its influence and create economic dependencies. Countries taking Chinese loans may find it hard to oppose Beijing. The Cambodian port is a textbook BRI project, integrating sea and land routes under Chinese control. Without the BRI's overland links, the port would be far less valuable. Together, they create a seamless corridor that circumvents the Malacca Strait. It's a perfectly integrated strategy: economic, political, and military. China's new land bridge is reshaping Southeast Asia's strategic landscape. It creates a north-south axis, reducing the old east-west sea route's dominance. This shift pulls mainland ASEAN states like Cambodia and Laos closer to China, creating rifts with maritime states like Singapore and Indonesia. The overland route could divert trade and investment from traditional hubs to new Chinese-built corridors. A Chinese military presence at Ream would give Beijing a forward base, projecting power into the South China Sea and Indian Ocean. This challenges U.S. maritime dominance and alarms neighbors like Vietnam and Thailand. The port is about more than trade, it's about military reach and regional influence. Southeast Asia's balance of power is changing before our eyes. The U.S. is watching Cambodia's developments with growing alarm. A Chinese military facility at Ream challenges America's Indo-Pacific strategy and naval dominance. It puts Chinese forces closer to the Malacca Strait, complicating U.S. operations. Washington has warned Cambodia, but Phnom Penh has largely ignored these concerns. The U.S. struggles to match China's economic influence, while Beijing builds tangible infrastructure. In response, the U.S. has imposed sanctions and strengthened military ties with regional partners like Vietnam and the Philippines. The Quad, U.S., Australia, Japan, and India, coordinate strategies to counter China. The port in Cambodia is now a symbol of escalating U.S.-China competition. The region faces a stark choice between dependency on China and alignment with the U.S. The strategic contest is intensifying, with Cambodia at its center. The story of China's Cambodian port is just beginning. Its true impact will depend on how well the overland corridor works and how regional politics evolve. If the land bridge is slow or costly, its economic value may be limited, but its strategic value remains. Cambodia's political future could reshape the port's role. A change in leadership might alter China's access. The US and its allies will keep pressuring Cambodia to limit China's influence. Ultimately, Ream is a symbol of a shifting world order and the fierce US-China rivalry. As China builds its network, the US must respond. The journey through the Malacca Strait set this in motion, but the consequences will echo for decades.